United States Special Counsel Jack Smith asked the Supreme Court yesterday to swiftly decide whether former U.S. President Donald Trump is absolutely immune from federal prosecution for crimes allegedly committed while he was in office. In a request filed with the High Court, Smith asked the justices to rule before a federal appeals court can weigh in on the matter. Good morning, I'm Abheudaya Shrestha, and these are the headlines of the hour. Loan of 40 million rupees with 0% interest rate set aside for farmers in Sudur Paschim province not utilized. The loan included in the budget not utilized due to lack of formation of required law. Government yet to take any step to remove the Nepali aviation sector from the blacklist of the European Union, remains indifferent on the formation of a separate regulating entity. U.S. Special Counsel prosecuting former President Trump on federal charges of trying to overturn his 2020 election defeat asked the Supreme Court to launch a fast-track review of Trump's claim of immunity. And Nepal currently taking on India at the ACC Under-19 Asia Cup. Nepal batting first after losing the toss. Pakistan playing against Afghanistan in another match. Loan with 0% interest rate set aside for farmers of Sudur Paschim province has not been utilized. The Agriculture Management Promotion Fund was established in the current fiscal year's budget with 40 million rupees set aside to provide farmers loan with 0% interest rate. However, the amount has not been utilized in the lapse of almost 5 months as required laws have not been formulated. The farmers have expressed objection after the Sudur Paschim province government's policy to provide loan with 0% interest rate was limited to paper. The Ministry of Land Management, Agriculture and Cooperative had submitted a draft at the Ministry of Law almost 5 months ago. However, the government has failed to form the law to move the process ahead. The farmers have urged the province government to implement the task to provide loan as mentioned in the budget. The European Union, that has put Nepal's airline companies in its air safety blacklist since 2013, has suggested Nepal to improve its aviation sector by forming a separate regulating body. The European Union has also pointed out the need of political commitment from Nepal to be removed from its blacklist. The European Union has been raising questions on the monitoring capacity of the Civil Aviation Authority of Nepal, CAN, since the past 10 years. Nepal has not been successful in being removed from the European Union's blacklist due to CAN's failure to make improvement in monitoring. With this, Nepal's 20 helicopter and airline companies have been restricted to fly to Europe's 27 countries. An EU team had evaluated CAN, Nepal Airlines Corporation and Sri Airlines from 11th to 15th of September earlier this year. On the basis of that evaluation, Nepal was not removed from the blacklist this time either. In the security work procedure prepared by the European Union in 2005, there is a provision of splitting CAN. The EU has said that questions have been raised on the Nepali airline companies as CAN has been operating airports as well as monitoring aircrafts. However, the Ministry of Transportation does not still seem to be prepared to form a separate monitoring body. The EU has specially raised question on the organizational structure of CAN. Experts say the European Union will remove Nepal airline companies from the blacklist if the Nepal government establishes a separate regulating entity, as suggested by the EU. The EU has said that Sri Airlines has not prepared necessary flight plans and its crew have not been provided required amount of rest. Likewise, the EU has pointed out that not enough effort has been made by Nepal Airlines Corporation to make improvements on security management system, risk assessment, among other areas. The European Union's report also mentions about lack of skilled manpower to monitor pilots. Although the International Civil Aviation Organization ICAO removed Nepal from its blacklist in July 2017, the European Union has continued to put a ban on Nepal's air carriers to fly over the sky of its member nations. Public life is growing difficult in Jumla because of the dip in mercury. The temperature has begun dropping to negative figure from the third week of November. The field office of the Department of Hydrology and Meteorology has said that the temperature of Jumla had read negative 4.7 degrees last night. Firewood is burnt to stay warm in Jumla, which does not have access to reliable electricity. Temperature drops down to -7 degrees in Jumla. Water has begun freezing at taps as well. Students are finding it difficult to reach their schools. The local academic institutions are shut for 2 months because of extreme cold. With the change in weather condition, Tarai districts are witnessing a dip in mercury. Those under the poverty line have begun spending their time next to burning firewood to keep themselves warm. However, stakeholder departments have not appeared serious towards protecting those under the poverty line from the cold wave and dip in mercury. The dip in mercury, coupled with fog, has begun adding further plight to the local residents in Dhanusha, Mohottari and Siraha, among other districts of the Madhya province. Daily lives of the members of deprived communities have been severely affected because of lack of warm clothes and nutritious diet. Cold weather and waves have led to loss of human lives in the past. Disaster management committees have been set up in each district under the leadership of the chief district officers to ensure relief for public during tough times. However, the local administration has not made any preparation to protect the deprived community from cold this time. 17.27% population of Madhya province is of the Dalit community. Most of them are daily wage workers. In addition to them, the situation of those with disabilities and without support is even more severe. Relief efforts begin only after deaths caused by cold waves in the Tarai. It is imperative for all 3 tiers of the government to collaborate to avoid such untoward incidents and protect the lives of those under the poverty line. Nepali Congress President Sherbahadur Deuba has called a meeting of the Congress Central Work Audit Committee for this Friday. Meanwhile, Shekhar Koirala has called a meeting of Nepali Congress members close to him for today. Koirala, who has been sharing his concerns regarding the performance of Party President Deuba, has called a meeting of officials, central members and parliamentarians close to him. However, many Nepali Congress members considered close to Koirala have not acknowledged the meeting. Nepali Congress General Secretary Gagan Thapa has said that discussions have not been held regarding the meeting. Thapa's attendance at the meeting remains uncertain. Another General Secretary, Bishwaprakash Sharma, has said that he could not attend the meeting of a specific faction. It has been understood that topics including the National Assembly election slated for 25th of January are to be discussed at the meeting. Meanwhile, the meeting of the Central Work Audit Committee slated for this Friday is to hold talks on topics including aid for the earthquake-hit districts. Nepali Congress has said that it is to construct additional 1,000 temporary shelters in the second phase in earthquake-hit Jajarkot and Rukum West from 12th to 22nd of December. 58 years is the age limit specified in the regulations for mandatory retirement from Nepal's 3 security departments, Nepal Police, Nepal Army, and Armed Police Force. At least 16 years must be served to qualify for pension. However, the number of security personnel quitting their jobs has increased because of low facilities, internal differences, and search of better opportunities. In recent times, such security personnel have been found of furnishing their resignations to join security departments of countries at war. Following the death of 6 Nepali nationals who were fighting for the Russian security forces, Nepal police investigated a group which was involved in the illegal recruitment of Nepali nationals in security departments of countries at war. 12 individuals arrested after the investigation were made public on 6th of December earlier this month. The police initiated another investigation after 2 passports from among those confiscated from the group were found to belong to police personnel deployed in the Kathmandu Valley. The police said that the 2 personnel had submitted their passports in aspiration of receiving a visa for Russia and resigning from the department after their visa was confirmed. According to the police headquarters, the number of personnel resigning from their jobs for several reasons has increased in recent time. A total of 6,983 personnel have resigned in the past 5 years. 221 have resigned in the ongoing fiscal year alone. In the armed police force, which has 37,000 security personnel, more than 1,000 have received their voluntary retirement in the past 3 years. According to Nepal Army Directorate of Public Relations and Information, 1,300 personnel have quit their jobs before serving the regulation retirement term. Most of such security personnel are found to prioritize foreign employment. In recent years, many have been joining the security forces of countries at war. It has been found that the security personnel have been quitting their jobs because of reasons including low facilities, dissatisfaction, and better opportunities elsewhere. Analysts are of the opinion that the exodus of skilled human resource was a matter of concern for the nation. It takes around 2 million rupees in investment for developing one security personnel. The government has also been spending a huge amount of fund for remunerations, trainings, and foreign visits of the security personnel. It is imperative for the security departments and the government to identify the reasons for such an exodus and find solutions to the problems. A total of 861 complaints have been registered at the Department of Foreign Employment in the past 7 months. According to the department, 269 complaints against organizations and 592 against individuals have been registered at the department. Based on the grievances filed at the department, middlemen have charged 232.7 million rupees from youths, promising them of taking them to foreign nations. Transactions of 32 manpower companies found involved in such cases have been put on hold. Meanwhile, 16 entities have been suspended, while 2 have been entirely scrapped. It's now time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
Here's the question. What should be done to put an end to irregularities in foreign employment? Your options are A, implement law, B, regular monitoring, and C, awareness among workers. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. In our Public Voice segment, we had asked people in several provinces what is the reason behind falling enrollment rates in higher education. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
विदेशमा डेफिनेटली नेपालको भन्दा चाहिँ अलिकति शिक्षा क्षेत्रमा अलि राम्रो देखिरहेको छ।
शैक्षिक योग्यताहरू छ त्यो कुराहरूलाई अब आजको युवाहरूले ठाउँ पाइरहेको छैन।
शिक्षाको स्तर पनि त्यति राम्रो छैन अनि रोजगारीको ग्यारेन्टी पनि छैन।
11-12 गरेरै उनीहरू बाहिर जाने अवस्था भएकोले अनि त्यही लड बसेर पनि हुन सक्छ।
नेपाललाई कसरी एजुकेसन हब बनाउन सक्छौं त्यतातिर ध्यान केन्द्रित गर्यो भने शिक्षाको स्तर पनि माथि जान्छ।
जति पढे पनि जब पाउन नि गाह्रो।
आम्दानी नि स्रोत हुने भयो त्यो कारणले चाहिँ बढी नेपालको विद्यार्थीहरू विदेश जाने क्रम चाहिँ बढ्दो छ।
देशको शिक्षा प्रणाली छ त्यसमा राजनीतिक हस्तक्षेप भएको कारणले गर्दाखेरिमा त्यहाँबाट क्वालिटीफुल हामीले एजुकेसन दिन सकेनौं।
अवसर खोज्नका लागि विदेश जानुहुन्छ।
विदेशमा गइसकेपछि शिक्षा र रोजगारको पनि सुनिश्चितताको कारणले गर्दा चाहिँ अग्र यो धेरै जसो विद्यार्थीहरू चाहिँ उतै जान खोजेको जस्तो लाग्छ।
हाम्रो विश्वविद्यालय कस्ता भइसक्यो भन्ने बेरोजगार उत्पादन केन्द्र भइसक्यो के
आफ्नो जिन्दगीमा के गर्न सक्छ भन्ने खालको एउटा शिक्षाको गुणस्तर बढाउनका लागि व्यावहारिक शिक्षा आवश्यक छ। यहाँ व्यावहारिक शिक्षा छैन।
It's time now for the international update. The U.S. Special Counsel prosecuting Donald Trump on federal charges of trying to overturn his 2020 election defeat asked the Supreme Court yesterday to launch a fast-track review of the former president's claim he cannot be tried on those charges. The Supreme Court said it would quickly review Special Counsel Jack Smith's request ordering Trump's lawyers to respond to the request by 20th of December. Trump has appealed a decision by U.S. District Judge Tanya Chutkan on 1st of December, rejecting his bid to dismiss the case. The judge found no legal support for the position argued by Trump's lawyers that former presidents cannot face criminal charges for conduct related to their official responsibilities. It is rare for a prosecutor to ask the Supreme Court to intervene in a case before a lower appeals court has already ruled, but Smith's move reflects the urgency ahead of the November 5 election. If re-elected, Trump could seek to pardon himself of any federal crimes. Trump, the frontrunner for the 2024 Republican nomination to challenge Democratic President Joe Biden, contends that this case and 3 other criminal prosecutions he faces are politically motivated. Prosecutors have accused Trump of attempting to obstruct Congress and defraud the U.S. government through schemes to overturn his loss to Biden in 2020. Trump has pleaded not guilty to these charges, as well as charges stemming from 3 other ongoing criminal prosecutions. Attendees of the COP28 summit yesterday held hands to form a line to push delegates for a fossil phase-out. The line was formed outside a meeting room where COP28 President Sultan Al Jaber was expected to hold a news conference. Countries yesterday received a new draft text of a final deal. The text did not refer directly to a phase-out of fossil fuels, which is a key demand of the European Union and many developing countries that are especially vulnerable to climate change. The talks are scheduled to finish today, but UN climate talks have rarely finished on time. COP28 President Sultan Al Jaber urged the nearly 200 countries at the talks to redouble their efforts to finalize a deal ahead of the scheduled close of the conference today.
Sports news.
Nepal are currently taking on India at the ACC Under-19 Asia Cup in a crucial match which will help determine the semi-finalists of the tournament. In the match that started just a while ago, Nepal are batting first after losing the toss. Mathematically, all 4 teams of Group A can progress to the semi-final. However, India are tough oppositions for Nepal. Despite defeating Afghanistan in their first match, India were beaten by Pakistan in their second match. Meanwhile, Nepal lost both of their matches. After losing by 7 wickets to Pakistan, Nepal lost by 73 runs against Afghanistan. In another match, Pakistan are currently playing against Afghanistan. Team Nepal can progress to the semi-final only if Pakistan defeat Afghanistan by a huge margin and Nepal produce a similar result against India. Butol Lumini FC are facing Jhapa FC in today's Nepal Super League match. Jhapa are searching for their first win in the tournament, while Butol Lumini look to register their 3rd win. Butol Lumini, who had lost their first 2 matches of the tournament, are undefeated in their last 3 matches. They are currently in good form as they had defeated Sporting Ilam and defending champions Kathmandu Razors. Meanwhile, Jhapa FC are yet to register a win at the tournament as they have injury issues. Laken Limbu and their marquee player Anjan Bishta are on the bench due to injury. Lalitpur City are at the top of the Nepal Super League standings with 9 points. Likewise, Dhangari are 2nd, Kathmandu are 3rd, and Pokhara are 4th, all with 8 points. If Butol Lumini secure a win against Jhapa today, they will climb to the top of the points table with 10 points. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.